Hi there, Yoga Hippie here. My name's Kristina. If you are new to my channel, welcome. If you're not new, welcome back. I live in my 2010 Prius and live nomadically. So that's some of what I chat about here on this channel. And then also I live nomadically. Did I say that? Anyway. So I want to say I'm sorry for not posting for a month, but I had some tragic things happen in my life, and so I'm going to talk about a little bit about that, but not the tragic thing. But okay, so my ex-boyfriend died of a massive heart attack at 46 4 weeks ago. And the long and the short of that is that we were, I guess we were really in love with each other, but we just couldn't get along. So the whole thing has been really traumatic for me. So I don't want to cry all through my video, because that's what I did on the one I just posted last night that I already deleted. And I don't want to talk about why it was so awful that he died. I mean, besides the fact that he died. But what I want to talk about is that it was very upsetting for me, and still upsetting 4 weeks later. So grief is a bitch, man. And these are feelings that I have not allowed myself to ever sit with. So my dad died right before I turned 16, and I was definitely a daddy's girl, so it was a massive blow to my life. And then my half brother that I had been, having a really amazing relationship with since I was 12, committed suicide when I was 23. Well, no, I was actually 22. And I was engaged to be married, and he was a groomsman, and this whole thing was a bad deal. And then, of course, I've had lots of family members die, all within a short amount of time, like within 5 to 10 years. All these other people died that I loved dearly. And then my friend Eric died. I just have not really, I guess when Eric died, I did sit with those feelings, but that was probably, that was a different kind of sad thing. This thing with my ex-boyfriend is really unexpected. Eric was unexpected too, but anyway, blah. So what I wanted to tell or talk about was, there were things with this whole situation with my ex-boyfriend that just made the whole situation even worse. So I hadn't spoke with him in 6 years, and I had painted this picture like I was fine when I really wasn't. And so I really thought I'd be able to talk to him again, or that maybe one day down the road we would work out our differences when we were much older. And it had only been 6 years, and I was still in the midst of trying to hammer out my career and figure it all out, and I didn't feel like it was the right time. And then, of course, everybody says don't contact your ex-boyfriend during COVID, so I made sure I didn't. And so I kept getting information about different things that were just super devastating for me since he died, that I would find out about. And one of the things that I found out about a week and a couple of days after he had died, when I was in Kansas City, one of his ex-girlfriends shared that he had made a comment on my Instagram, and I missed it, and that was pretty devastating, because I didn't want him to think for a moment, that I didn't care about him or that I was ignoring him. And I wished so bad I could go back and change it, right? So here I had this situation on top of all my feelings that I was already having, that then I had this more guilt and shame, remorse, and all that negative, awful feeling about not being able to change the situation and make it different. And really just trying to remind myself that he's with me now and knows everything, knows that I didn't see the comment, that I wasn't ignoring him, that whatever, that I loved him, that I just didn't feel like I could talk to him yet. So I was at my friend's house, and I have been with all my friends, and that was really helpful to be in Kansas City to kind of deal with all of this stuff. My friends have been completely understanding, and everybody's been so sweet reaching out to me. And anyway, it was just a lot. It's still a lot. And it's still very sad. But this one day, when I was feeling super, super distraught, right, I was freaking out and I was not handling it well. And my friend had gone to work, but I was staying at her house and she had gone. And I was walking through her house and I stopped. And because I had to get it together, you know, I was just freaking out. And I was so torn up over this little sweet message that he had left me that I had not seen, and confused about why, you know, why would it be like that? And I mean, I know now, I can see that it would have taken me off my path, and I'm supposed to be on this path that I'm in the midst of navigating and trying to get clarity on, right? But that didn't really help me feel any better. I wasn't feeling good about that. And so I was crying. I'm like 13 years sober. This is my second time to be sober, 13 years. I'm really wanting to stay sober. And normally I don't have a problem staying sober. But this day I stopped walking to my friend's house and I was just standing up against the wall and I was like, oh my God. And then I thought, I can't feel like this. I can't handle it. I don't want to feel like this anymore. And so normally, a lot of times when I have these intense sorrow and grieving feelings, I just, you know, I've wound up in a rehab both times that I had those feelings and avoided them. So I didn't really want to do that again. But I was standing up against the wall and I was having this moment and it was really scary. Very, 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 very scary. And I thought I should just get drunk so that I don't have to feel all these feelings, right? You could just get drunk, Kristina, and you don't have to think about it. And then that scared the shit out of me. So at that point, I realized I was standing next to my friend's liquor cabinet just by accident. You know, I had just stopped walking right there. And anyway, I thought, I don't want to do that. I don't want to have to do another 13 years of sobriety. Like, fuck that. So I was sobbing and I just got present and I started to curl my toes and feel my feet and think about my feet and my shoes. I don't know if I had shoes on. I don't remember a bit. Everything. I just started feeling my clothes and mainly my tears. So I had these giant tears just streaming. They were like jumping out of my eyeballs and hitting my cheeks and then jumping onto my shirt. And I just was paying attention to all of it. And then I started to clench my fist. And then I didn't know what else to do because it was still happening, that I wanted to just drink and not feel so sad. And so I said, over and over and over, I will stay sober, I will stay sober, I will stay sober, I will stay sober. And I said that until the urge to have a drink passed. And that was a pretty awful, scary moment. I've not had a moment like that since I've been sober. Not that I can recall. So there's somebody else out my car. I'm like, what's going on? So I want to say I'm sober. I stayed sober. That was good. And I'm really grateful that I'm sober. And I wanted to share that because if you're struggling with any kind of negative feelings or a hard time and you're having a hard time, that you can make it past that moment, you know, that's a moment. It doesn't have to be all day. It doesn't have to be the rest of whatever. It doesn't have to be something that you do just because you think it. And it could be really, really, really intense. But if we just get present and we do whatever we can, you know, to get past that moment, it'll go away, you know. So that moment passed, and then I cried more. And then I told myself I had to get my shit together. So that's what I've been working on doing. So, you know, if you're grieving or you're having a rough time, I really want to encourage you that, you know, that's part of life, as bad as that is. Death is part of life. Even if you relapse, that's part of recovery a lot of times. That was part of my recovery. I've relapsed, for 6 or 7 years I relapsed. And now I'm sober again, and it's totally been great, So it hasn't all been easy, but it is what it is, So, I've been doing a lot of things. I saw the hypnotist, that helped. I got a massage, that helped. I had an energy processing session, and I did things that I was told to do. I still have one bit of homework to do with that, but I definitely wrote all the things that I've never been able to say to my dad and my cat that had passed on, and my ex-boyfriend. And then I wrote those all down, and I burned it. And did that with 2 of my friends at the lake, and then it was really sweet. I put his ashes, his grandma and his friend Tara, they bagged up his ashes and shared them with everybody, and that was really amazing. That was like something that I didn't know was going to be gifted to us, and that was really helpful. So put them in some personal places, but also put one at the first house that he ever flipped over on Row in Prairie Village, Kansas, and then put them at the lake. And so all those things were really helpful. So I hope that you have a support system, because I don't think I could have made it through any of this. I don't think I'd be sober if it wasn't for my support system. And I wanted to speak about that for a second. Thanks for bearing with me. It's been a real sad month. I've been looking for this beach home, right? And I was so confused, right? So, because I ended up in Townsend in this mountain home, right? And I'm still going to the beach. I'm going to the beach next week for 3 weeks. I'm so excited. I'm going to go to Florida again, but I'm going to go down the Gulf side instead of the east side. So, but, it occurs to me during this very challenging time that I've been going through. Also with my looking for this home, this place, to my place, I was also thinking I was looking for my tribe, this group of people that would like support me and be there for me. And I've had this thought before that my friends and my support network, that my tribe was Kansas City. And I think I was just resistant to think that, because I was associating my tribe being with a place that I would live. But I just want to say that I definitely feel that Kansas City and my friends and they're like my family, right? That's my tribe. So I want to thank all my tribe members for supporting me and loving me and allowing me the space to cry. So maybe you're watching this and you've never experienced grief, or you don't understand how to feel the grief. I don't know how to help you feel it, but I think it's really important to feel it, even though it's awful. It's also very important to allow other people to have the privilege of sharing and feeling sad. A lot of people are uncomfortable with feelings, and they go, oh, don't cry, Well, like, grief is a thing you can't turn on and off necessarily. I mean, when it hits me, like this morning I was sitting there rocking on the porch, having some tea, and everything's fine. I haven't been sad. I was great. I was in a good mood. I was feeling grateful. I was, being present. And I don't know, something triggered the memory of my ex being dead, and like he's gone and I'll never see him again, and it made me so sad. Just immediately I started to tear up, and I was like kind of stunned and still shocked, and just like, I can't even believe this, so it made me sad, and so I cried for a minute, and that's fine. That's what you have to do. But people want to tell you sometimes to not cry, or they think you should be over it by a certain time. That's not a thing. That's not true. So If you're struggling, I'm here to give you hope that you can make it through all the moments that are struggle. That you got to find a support system, whether that's a yoga group of people doing it. I mean, that's what I chose the second round of sobriety instead of AA. I went to yoga, and that changed my life. So anyway, I know this is a scattered, kind of half sad video, and this is, like I said, my 5th one, I think. No, this is my 6th video, because I started to make another one and I already started over. But I actually posted my 4th one, and then I deleted it because I just thought, oh my God, this is so ridiculous. I'm just talking about my ex-boyfriend and sad, and it's just not what I wanted to post, so I took it down last night. And decided I would post a new one today. So anyway, that's what's been going on, and I hope my next video will be happier. And sorry, I'm trying to see what time I'm on my video. So at the end here, I'm just going to show you kind of where my tribe stems from. It's a little video of Yoga Patch in Kansas City. So if you are looking for a yoga studio in Kansas City, that's where I would tell you to go. But some of my people in my tribe are now associated with Yoga Patch, but that's not where I met them, right? So it's kind of fun how that works. Anyway, I love you. I hope that you are having a happy day and a happy life, and that you're making plans that your heart soars over, and I send you all the love and peace, and like my video if you like it, and subscribe for more if you like. And now I promise I will make a sooner video than a month. And hopefully it's things with my business are further along. So if you're coming to the Smoky Mountains in October, I'm potentially leading meditation hikes there. So I'm also going to try to do this in some beachy locations as well. So we'll see what happens with it all. It's a little bit expensive of an adventure for me, but I think it's potentially going to be a really amazing thing to do for people. And I really hope to share my love of the Smokies and hiking and meditation, and how being present is ultimately the thing that has kept me sober and released me from the throes of anxiety, and helped me be more focused and calm as a person, because I have ADHD as well. So anyway, peace, peace, peace to you always. This is Yoga Patch. So I started teaching yoga 10 years ago. Yeah, something like that. 10 or 11 years ago. I've been practicing yoga 13 years, teaching 10, yeah. And Yoga Patch is where I really got started. And I taught at this little bitty studio that they had. It was one room. You could fit like 25 mats in there. Look at this place now. So I helped yoga, helped Maria. This is Maria. She owns Arbor Vitae, which is where I'm standing right now. And Arbor Vitae houses many other businesses. So the Kula Cafe, and this is Yoga Patch. So this is the kids' room. Okay. And then we have the living room. Let's take your shoes off before you come into a yoga studio. Look, it's so pretty. Yoga Patch. That's new. Haven't seen that mural. And then there's this fountain that her brother put in. It's taken me, I don't know, many years to get it working. But it works now. And then there's this blue room. That's so pretty. And they have aerial silks classes in here. My friend Rose teaches them. And then floating Casey. What's up? Anyway, there's some offices, so there's lots of massage offices around here. Sorry, I took my shoes off. Trying to get my shoes back on. Anyway, and I used to rent space here doing massage. It's a nice place. And there's another room. It's the yoga room back here. This is the yellow room. Yeah, there's Yoga Patch.